Let's take a look at the three dots in the lower right-hand corner of our menu bar here in Google Meet. Sometimes this gets referred to as the snowman. These are your more options for Google Meet. The first one that's important to us is the whiteboard. This opens a new Jamboard for either you to share with your students and you're the only one that can write on it, or you can actually share it with your students and they can write on a separate page, a separate whiteboard themselves, and collaborate together and add sticky notes and text and pictures and all sorts of stuff. I'll show you how to do a Jamboard in a later video. This one right here is to record a meeting, and this, let's see, if I click it now, it's going to, this is funny, you would think that this pops up on everyone's screen. It's actually just popping up on your screen as the teacher because you're the one that selected record. And it's reminding you to ask the students for consent to record them. So it's a helpful little reminder, but don't think that it shows up on everyone's screen and they have the option to accept or decline. That would be great if that is how it worked, but unfortunately it's not. When I click on the accept button, and it's going to show up here in the top left-hand corner that I am recording this meeting. You also might notice on the Google Meet tab up here at the top, there's also a little red circle, and that confuses people sometimes that the meeting is being recorded. It just means that that's your live Google Meet tab. If you're trying to find it and you've gotten lost amongst your tabs, you're going to look for the red dot. If a meeting is actually being recorded, it's up here and at the top left corner, and it says REC for record. The nice part about Google Meet and recordings is that the recordings are automatically saved to your Google Drive and they are never deleted. There's not a retention policy like we have with Zoom. So you can keep them for the entire semester, the entire term, the entire year, if you would like. And the easiest way that we're going to recommend that you share these recordings out with your students is to create a folder in your Schoology course that says class recordings, and then you're going to wind up saving the recordings to that folder and giving your students access to that folder. And then every time a meeting gets recorded, it gets posted in your Schoology course for you. Very easy to do. I'm going to stop recording, and to do that, I have to come over to the snowman or the three dots and click on stop recording. And it gives you this message here. The recording will be saved in your Google Drive. And let's finish up with some of these over here. Okay, change layout. This is one of the things that we were really liking about Zoom in the very beginning, is that Zoom allowed us to see a whole tiled view of everybody. We could see more than, I think it was 6 or 9 participants at a time. You could see up to like 20 or 30, or maybe it's even 50. Google Meet has finally added this as well, and you have several different options for your layout. You could select auto, and it's either going to be one person, and it'll flip back to having 6 people. Tiled view is probably what most of us are going to go with, so that we can see as many students as at one time as we can. And if you select tiled view, you can come down here and slide this to the left and the right to adjust the number of individuals that you see at one time or on one screen. So the most that you can see is 49. Now you could click over to the next page just like we do in Zoom and see the next set of 49. Spotlight is going to be one of the things that we actually use with recording. I should have shown you that when I did the recording thing. But Spotlight is how we're going to record our presentation or content delivery for our classes. And then Sidebar, if you look closely over here, gives you everybody on the right-hand side in a film strip view. So that's how you can change the layout. Again, coming over here to the three dots, you can click on full screen to see a full screen view of the Google Meet. Here's where we can change the background and blur the background, or actually upload an image, I believe. These are our choices of backgrounds right now. And it's nice because when you have stuff behind you, as I do, you could just apply a picture and that would then be your background. If you move around or you have a certain hairstyle, like probably this hair of mine over here would be kind of pixelated and you might see a little bit of the background and then the blue sea around me. So it's not perfect. It's not a perfect green screen option, but at least it does add for some privacy depending on if a student needs that, or even if we as teachers need or want that. These are the different ones that you can choose from. It does tend to slow the Chromebook down, and I believe your Windows laptop as well. So while you get the benefit of having a blurred background, you also trade off a little bit of speed with your Chromebook or your laptop at the same time. So you got to weigh the cost benefit with that. And then here's the turn on captions thing again. You could use a phone for audio if you wanted, report problems, abuse, troubleshooting and help, and your settings again. And if we click on these settings, this shows you the same settings that we had when we clicked on the shield over here for the host controls, but this is where you're going to want to direct your students to if they're having audio or camera problems. You're going to tell them to click on the three dots and go to settings over here and make sure they have the correct microphone chosen, the correct video chosen, and your students aren't going to have the host controls. But since I'm a teacher, I have those. The noise cancellation, again, is very helpful in the background so that if you have cars driving past or the trash truck or things like that, my dog walking across the floor in the background, hopefully that sound is being filtered out. Then that is all for the more options that you have in the bottom right-hand corner of your Google Meet.